alumni of UTM Malaysia, and he's very in several fields, including data analysis and IoT, especially with the use of Python. So today we are going to be hearing about Python for data analysis. So I'll give him the floor to have his speak. Dr. Elijah, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nonso, our moderator for today. And I want to say good afternoon, is it good evening? Because I believe we have people who are watching from different time zones today. So welcome to today's webinar. And I do hope that it's going to be a good time for every one of us to learn one or two things about Python for data analysis. All right, so I'd like to go straight to today's talk. Mustafa Jairo, you said you cannot hear anything. Hope you can hear now. So if you have, you can just pop it into the chat box, or you can just wait to the end of my presentation, then you can ask your question. So today, basically, I'll share my screen now. So today, I'll be talking about Python for data analysis. Can we all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Sorry, just a few seconds. Okay, so everyone says you can. That's good. All right, so basically I'll be talking about Python for data analysis. So I'll just give a talk for the next 20 minutes, and then I'll pass back the time to Mr. Nonso for the question and answer time. So today I'll be focusing on two things. One, to just give us an overview of what Python for data analysis is all about. Then I'm going to be talking about the free Python data analytics course that is coming up on the 3rd of January. And to do that, this is the outline for today. So I'm going to cover what is data analytics, applications for data analytics, types of data analytics, job opportunities, what are the processes involved in data analytics, Python for data analytics. So I'll talk about some of the tools that are out there that we can explore. And of course, the upcoming free Python course. So the first question is, what is data analytics? Basically, yes, it's a simple definition. It's the process of exploring and analyzing large data sets to make predictions and to help data-driven decision making. So we realize that a lot of decisions we make now are based on data. So what the data analysis that has been done, then based on those data analysis, the insights we get helps us to take some decisions. All right, so we have some basic terminologies like things like data analytics, data analysis, data analyst, so data scientists. So there are various terminologies that are out there, but basically they kind of like talk about almost the same thing. So data analysis is a subset of data science that focuses on exploring and analyzing data to discover patterns, trends, and insights. So in this case, right, so we have what we call data science. So data science is like a bigger picture. So data science is involved with more other things, not just, so data analytics is just one of the tools of data science. So you have like things like development of algorithms, modeling of data, and all of that. So data analytics is just a subset of data science. All right, so let's look at some of the applications of data analytics. Example is the fraud analysis. So that is very, it's a hot topic these days because of cyber frauds and things like that. So a lot of data on our online communications are carried out in order to detect frauds, scams, and all of that. Then targeted marketing. So basically, most of us are probably we probably must have experienced targeted marketing either through our social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram. So sometimes you search for something on Google, and before you know, there's a lot of adverts coming towards you for asking you to buy this, buy that. So that's targeted marketing. So what's happening behind the scene is that there are some analytical tools that are working to analyze your data, what you're searching, the time you're searching, your conversations and things like that. So city planning, so a lot of data analytics are being carried out by government agencies and things like startups in order to plan the city in terms of resources, in terms of development, forecasting, in terms of population growth. So a lot of analytics goes into that. Another example is personal expenses. So some of us have apps that we record our personal expenses on a daily basis. That is particularly good. It helps you check what you are spending on and the amount of money you're spending. So it helps you to like take some informed decisions. So maybe you need to cut down on certain expenses and things like that. So another one is agriculture. So a lot of analytics goes into agriculture these days. So most of the agricultures, you talk about smart agriculture, are all data driven. So the soils are being monitored using sensors and things like that. The weather has been monitored. So based on the weather data, the sensor, the soil data, and every other factors that is being considered, then you take decisions like when to wet your plants, when to harvest, and all of that. So another example is delivery logistics. So this is a big one because especially during the COVID-19, everything had to go online. So delivery companies had to employ data analytics. So example, what is the fastest route to use, to deliver certain goods. So a lot of analytics goes into this, especially for supply chain management and all of that. Another area of application is healthcare. So our healthcare is evolving. So you have a lot of online e-health systems these days that helps you to diagnose your illness or diseases even before you see a doctor. So that helps you to like analyze or detect or provide some kind of descriptions to whatever illness or you're having. So a lot of analytics is going on there. So there are a lot of things, a lot of areas of applications of data analytics in our current world. Example is your phone. If you look at your phone is able to tell you how many hours you have spent on Facebook today, how many hours you have spent on YouTube. So all of those things are there on your phone. So with that, if you now want to like know how to manage your time, so you can go and check your analytics of your phone and see how you spend your time using your phone. So that's a practical example. All right, so let's look at some of the types of data analytics. So we have three major ones. There's also a fourth one, which is the diagnostic. So we have the descriptive analytics, we have the predictive analytics, and we have the prescriptive analytics. And the fourth one, some people add that, which is diagnostic analytics. So for descriptive analytics, you are looking at what happened in the past. So you don't have to do anything with data. You just want to analyze what happened in the past. So example is the Google Analytics. So it shows you how many people have visited your website or how many people have visited your page, how many people have engaged with your page. So it just shows you a summary of what has happened in the past. For predictive analytics, it tells you what is likely to happen. So it based on what happened in the past. And example is to predict the sales of items during Christmas season. So maybe based on your previous data, it's able to tell you, okay, do social days within the festive period, you are likely to get social amount of demand for social amount of products, and that helps you to prepare ahead. In terms of prescriptive analytics, it's a combination of the descriptive and predictive. So it looks at what has happened, why it happened, and what might happen in order to determine what should be done next. So that is where when you want to take actions, you want to take decisions. So that is where prescriptive comes in. For the diagnostic is more like after your descriptive. So after looking at the pattern of events, so you want to know why certain things have happened. For example, why was there a drop in sales for the month of March? Maybe you are a poultry farmer, and during a particular month, you look at your trends of data and you say, a particular like March, there was a drop in sales. So it kind of like help you to find out the abnormalities in your in your data. All right, so I'll go further and talk about maybe job opportunities. So why is everyone talking about data analysis these days? The good thing is a lot of companies requires data analytics for their businesses to thrive. So businesses are becoming more and more competitive. So you cannot just rely on human ability to do some of these things. So you have to stay competitive. You have to make sure that you have adequate data and you're able to make the best of the data. So there are a lot of things you can do if you are a data analyst. So you can work remotely. You can apply for remote jobs. Example, here are some examples, maybe remote jobs in Canada. So you don't have to travel to another country now to get jobs. So once you are skilled and you have a good CV in terms of data analytics, you can vie for some of these jobs that are done remotely. So either from Canada, US, UK, there are a lot of companies in different countries looking for data analysts. All right. So another thing is you can apply for jobs from companies. So here's an example. I will share the link in the slides later on as references. So these are just few examples which I saw online from different companies in Lagos. You can see this is Lagos, and you can look at the salary. They're paying up to 200,000 naira to 250,000 naira full time per month. So there are a lot of jobs out there that you can do or you can apply for. All right. So some of them require that you have a good knowledge of Python or you have a good knowledge of R. So yeah, a lot of opportunities there. So apart from applying for jobs, you can also develop your own applications to solve your own problems. You can develop applications to solve businesses. A lot of businesses, especially in Nigeria, still require data analysis. So example, people who are into poultry, they don't know how many, a lot of them don't keep records. So you can develop your own analytic tool to help them monitor their resources, monitor their finances from them when people are stealing their products. So let's say people are taking stock of eggs. So the system will be able to monitor, okay, there's supposed to be 50,000 eggs today. Unfortunately, maybe 20,000 is missing. So those are the things that can help us fight all these frauds in businesses and help businesses. So you can develop your own application for businesses. All right. So going further, so what are the processes involved in data analytics? Number one, data collection. So data collection is very important. Data collection. So data collection, when we talk about data collection now, it could be using sensors, it could be using apps to get inventories, people imputing data into the apps and things like that. It could be using cameras to maybe capture images or taking videos and things like that. So it could be taking also audio data. So the data can come in different formats, different structures. So first, you need to collect data. Data is very important. Without data, then of course, there's no need for data analytics. The next step is data preparation. So sometimes this is usually one of the most difficult aspects, when you have to do data cleaning, detect anomalies, you need to take care of missing data and all of that. So the data could be very voluminous. So you don't want to sit down in front of Excel and be looking at data one by one. So in this case, you need to automate your data preparation. So that is where Python programming plays an important role. The next thing is data exploration. So having cleaned your data, prepared your data, you feel your data is okay to be used, then of course you can do your exploration. So apply some of the statistical tools in Python to look at trends, patterns, correlations, and things like that. Then another aspect is data modeling. So having gotten your data, you can apply some machine learning algorithms to model your data. Either you want to forecast or you want to predict and things like that. Then of course, the most important thing is your presentation of your results. So that is what is useful to your customers. That is what is useful to your businesses, not the raw data. So what are the tools that are out there that can help you present your data in a way that everyone will be able to appreciate your data processing? Okay, so that is where visualization comes in. And we look at some of the tools that Python has to do that. All right, so in terms of Python for data analysis, why Python? There are a lot of softwares out there that you could use, but why are we using Python? Python is easy to learn, okay? people as low as primary 3, primary 4 started using Python. Very easy to learn. It's scalable and flexible. There's a huge collection of libraries out there that you can use. You don't need to like buy them again. You just need to install them into your Python IDE and you can use them. There's a lot of tools that can help you present very powerful graphics and visualization. And of course, you have a very large community of support. So let's say you're trying to do something, you're having an error, you can always put it into the community and it will provide you some answers. Okay, so in terms of tools for data analytics, Python tools, one of the tools I will recommend is Anaconda. So for those of you who are into Python programming, maybe you will have installed Anaconda. So Anaconda comes like a package manager. So it helps you to manage different Python tools. For example, the Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Lab, Spider, VS Code. So, and more, even R. So it's like a total package that helps you to manage a lot of tools. So if we install Anaconda, it's free. The good thing is it's free. So you install it onto your system. And of course, from there, you begin to use some of the tools that are packaged in there. So if you install Anaconda and based on that, you probably, for example, you use Spider. So Spider has all these libraries like NumPy. So NumPy is a very good library for data analysis. Pandas is another very powerful one. So for visualization, looking at Matplotlib, then we have SciPy if you want to do some machine learning and scikit-learn also for machine learning and all of that. So these are powerful tools when you are going to data analysis. All right, so in terms of the libraries, here are some of the libraries. So again, it depends on the type of data you're trying to work on. So if you're looking at images or you're looking at some data based on text or even images as well. So you can use NumPy, Pandas, maybe you're importing from your Excel or you're using a CSV file format. So whatever file format you can. So you can use your NumPy, Pandas. They're very powerful tools. Or you're doing some time series analysis. These are powerful tools. Then in terms of visualization, Matplotlib is a very good one. There are other libraries in Python that you can also use for visualization. Okay, so here's an example of some of the codes in Python. You can see they're very straightforward. So let's say you want to import an image. So you just import the library from SkyImage, import IO, then io.imread. This imports your image into your Python environment. Similarly, with CV2, OpenCV, you can also import images. This is NumPy. So you work with arrays. So basically, most of the data you import into your Python environments are in form of arrays. So that is where you can do a lot of manipulation, maybe delete data, fill in some data, and things like that. Then Pandas is a very powerful tool when you're talking about data structures and data analysis. So you can use Pandas for that as well. So Matplotlib, so this is used for visualization. Okay. So here's an example of application of data analytics that I use in my own research work. So I worked on effect of weather condition on LoRa IoT communication technology in a tropical region, Malaysia. So that's one of the work we did last year. So it's been published. So all of this I did mostly with Python. So you can see I did some correlation studies to see how weather parameters affect the signal strength. So this, just by using Python, I was able to come up with this publication. It helped me to discover that there's a trend that is during the daytime. The signal, there's a correlation within the solar radiation. You can see the solar radiation going up, down. Then, of course, with temperature. Then, based on that, I was able to detect that the solar radiation kind of have a positive correlation to my received signal strength. So just doing that gave me a contribution for a paper, which I quickly published. It was a 3 days data, which we used. It's a time series data. Then from there, we looked at the effect of brain on that. So just the knowledge of using Python, I was able to publish a paper from there. So the paper is available online. You can go and have a look at it, okay? So now coming to the free Python for data analytic course. So we put together a free Python for data analytic course, which is starting on the 3rd of January 2023, and it's going to end by 10th of March 2023. It's a 10-week course. So every week we have different schedule for the course. So it's an online course. It's online. So for you to be eligible, you just need to be computer literate. You don't need to know anything about statistics or whatever, or Python. So basically, it's going to cover everything that has to do with Python, basic Python, then before we go into data analytics. So the mode of teaching is going to be through the learning management system, which is called Schoology. So we're going to provide this link for you later on so that you can register if you're interested to be part of the free for Python for data analysis. So we're targeting beginners, but if you're already an expert and you just want to be part of the course, that's good and fine. You are welcome to join. So basically, you go to this website, www.schoology.com. Then you just sign in as a student. Then, of course, it will ask you for an access code. So that access code gives you access to. So the course is going to be online. It's free. But at the end of the day, once you complete there's going to be exercises throughout for the each of the weeks, and there's going to be a project. Once you complete it and you are interested in getting the certificate, then of course there's going to be a little amount that you need to pay, 5,000 naira, to get your certificate. But if you're not interested in the certificate, that's fine. You can just take the knowledge. What we are interested in is you having the knowledge. So here's the schedule for the training. So again, it's starting on the 3rd of January, 2023. So basically, you start with the installation of the software. So we'll guide you how to install your Anaconda, then all the necessary tools you need for your Python for data analysis. So then the second week, you learn how to work with numbers, strings, time, and date in Python. Then the 3rd week, we look at function models, and then a little bit of object-oriented programming. So these first 3 weeks is to help you develop your Python skills. At least get the basics that you need in order to work on your data analysis. Then from there, we begin to look at some of the tools I mentioned, like NumPy. So how to use your NumPy, dealing with arrays and things like that. Then from there, introduction to Pandas. Pandas is a very powerful tool when you're talking about data. So we'll show you how to use Pandas arrays, data frames, some of the essential functionality like removing anomalies, doing some exploratory data analysis, dealing with missing data, and all of that. So then the next is going to be data loading. So how to load your data, different types of form, whether you're working with Excel, you're working with CSV file. So you need to know how to load all those different data that have been saved in different formats. Otherwise, you'll have issues. So then data cleaning, processing, you learn all of that using Pandas. Okay, then from there, we'll show you data analysis and visualization. And then on the 8th week, we'll look at time series data analysis. I think that is very important because when you're thinking about forecasting and things like that, because most of the data are time-stamped, so you need to know how to deal with those time series data. All right, then there's going to be a project for you to do. So the project is going to be basically you working on a problem that you want to solve using data analysis. So yeah. All right, then the 10th is the submission. Then, of course, once you're done with that, if you need your certificate, then you can apply for that. Then you pay the 5,000, then you get your certificate. All right. Okay, so estimated time per week, at least you probably put like 6 hours every week, which I think is something that you can do. Maybe 2 hours in a day, or you can, maybe 2 times in a week. Focus on that and get it done. All right. So to register again. So you just go to this website, www.schoology.com. Mr. Nonso is going to share the link in the message box, so you can just click on it straight. Then sign in as a student. Then it's going to ask you for the access code. Once you get into the access code, then all you need to do is wait until the 3rd of January. Then, of course, you will be able to access. So every week we'll be uploading the content into the folders. Then there's going to be exercises that you need to try and complete every week. All right, so I think that's all for my presentation. So I'm going to pass the time back to our moderator for today, and we open for.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Elijah, for that very insightful and brief intro into Python for data analytics. So I shared all the links. The registration and feedback form, and also the link to to Schoology. So just very quickly, we would like to open the floor for questions concerning the course or any other thing you want to ask as it pertains to Python for data analytics. So please raise your hand if you have a question, and you'll be given we'll take like 2-3 questions if we have time. So far we have time. And while we are waiting for questions, you could just please fill the form so that we could have you in our database, and we'll get back to you for more info. Yes, YM, please, can you speak? Turn on your mic and ask your question.
Okay.
For others, you could also type your questions in the chat. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Sorry, I had experience before when I was trying to learn data science using the Anaconda, that is using Jupyter Notebook. But I'm having issues running it on my system. I want to ask, because I had the first doctor said that we're going to be using Anaconda for the project. So I want to ask, is there any other software we can use instead of Anaconda for the lesson? Because I'm having problem operating it on my system.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. Is there any other question? Or doctor, will you want to respond to that?
Okay, let me quickly respond to
the question.
Can I respond to that first?
Okay, let him respond. Let me respond.
Okay, thanks, YM, for your question. Yeah, so number one, you said you are having issue with Anaconda. So again, maybe you probably want to check your the configuration of your system. So basically, Anaconda works best when you have a 64-bit system. That's number one. Sometimes you also need to check your OS. Maybe you are working with, if you are working with Windows 11 and above, I think that should be fine. Then, yeah, so the thing is, Anaconda allows you to use several tools, not just Jupyter. So let's say you are having issue with Jupyter, you can use Spider. So in fact, for this particular training coming up, we're going to be using Spider in Anaconda. So you can also use other tools like VS Code. If you are used to VS Code environment, you can use that to do your data analysis. Then there are several Python IDE. When I mean IDE, for those who are not into programming, it means integrated development environment. So there's PyCharm. You can also use PyCharm. Yeah. So, but for this particular training, I recommend you install Anaconda. Then in Anaconda, look for Spider. Spider is quite easy to use, and I think that would be much friendlier than using a Jupyter. Or yeah. All right. I hope I've answered the question. Why? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Mohammed Amadou. I'm a student of environmental science planning to study the impact of climatic parameters on sand dunes advancement in Northern Yobe, Nigeria. How would the training help me?
Okay, that's a very good question. So if you look at my presentation earlier, I also do something that has to do with effect of weather condition on that's on radio signal. So this training is going to be of help to you because number one, if you have collected your data, so in this training, you'll be able to use that for your project. So let's say, for example, when it comes to project time, so all the things you've learned over the weeks from week 1 to week 7, so you now use it to carry out this particular project. So I think I will strongly advise you to join the training. So if you have issues when you're trying to implement your project, that's when we can come in. So it's not going to be like we are training you online. No, we just put the materials into the Schoology. So you go access the materials, follow it. Then if you have questions, you can send us emails if you have any issues. So I believe this training is going to help you solve this problem. So basically, before the training starts, you try and get all your data ready. We're going to show you how to use Pandas to import your data into your Python environment. we're going to show you how to use pandas to do some data wrangling, maybe clean your data, fill in missing data. Then if you want to look at correlations within weather and the sun dune and things like that. So you need to get all of this all outlined before the training starts. And I think this training will be of good help to you. Okay.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
All right, please. My name is Emmanuel. I have two questions, but one has been answered already by Doctor. And I want to thank Dr. Elijah. He has been my tutor for the past 3 years. It's a very good and wonderful presentation. But the second question is, I had a little challenge with the network. I couldn't join on time. I joined along the way. So I don't know if the recorded version of this presentation can be sent or can be uploaded in WhatsApp or sent to us directly so that we can fully participate, carry that along with the presentation. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thanks, Emmanuel, for those words of encouragement. And it's good to see some of the people because for those of you who are joining today, we've been doing free Python course since 2017. And we've trained a lot of people through this Schoology online training. A lot of people have benefited. Yeah, so it's good to have some of them on board now. So yes, please fill the form. There's a form that's been sent in the chat box. We're going to send you the link to the video. This is being recorded. Then we're going to send you the slides. And to everyone that is going to register using the form, we're going to send you a certificate for this webinar. So for example, those who joined our first webinar on Python for Internet of Things, we send them certificates. So after this training, please check either your inbox or your spam box. You're going to get a certificate as long as you register using the link that has been sent in the chat box. So we're going to send you the link to the video. So this is going to be uploaded to our Facebook page. We have Facebook page, we have YouTube page as well. So we share this presentation, and we're going to send you the slides as well. In addition to that, we're going to send you certificates of participants for this webinar. Thank you.
So some people are asking about the Schoology. They're having issues with the link. Register.
Okay. Maybe you need to check your network. Check your network. Sometimes
I think first of all, you need to register. You need to create a fresh registration with Schoology. If you are not formally registered with Schoology, you should create a new registration.
Yeah, you need to sign up first. So you sign up as a student. Then when you sign up as a student, it will give you, it will ask you to enter a code for you to be able to register or access at the course. And that is where you put in the codes. I think somebody sent an image. Let me check.
Okay, please fill the form, fill the registration form, and we'll get back to you with your WhatsApp number and email. Let me see if there's any other question. Okay, someone is suggesting a YouTube channel, so you can subscribe. Okay.
Yeah, I think we have a YouTube channel, right? For those of you who have been following us on free Python course, we have a YouTube channel. So maybe we're going to send you the link. All the information, we send it as an information to your email. So once you register, we send the link. So there's a
question again. Developing, can this be useful in developing a real-time monitoring cost and schedule activities for a particular construction site?
Yes. This is for that particular question. Yes, it's possible. So if you want to do that, you first need to maybe deploy what they call the Internet of Things. So, or you need to deploy your app where you can get your real-time data. Then, of course, this particular training is focusing just on the analysis of the data, but we can guide you on how to develop your real-time dashboard. So maybe part of that we can include, but that will be more suitable for advanced class because this is what we're just targeting beginners at this level. So for an advanced class, yes, we have materials for that where you can deploy your dashboard, real-time dashboard. and you can monitor whatever information, whether your cost, or you want to create a schedule, or you want to monitor activities. So first, you need to learn Python to be able to do that. If you have knowledge of Python, you have knowledge of data analysis, then the next thing is you want to see how you can develop your dashboard. So that we will not cover that in this particular training, but in subsequent training, we can provide that.
Okay,
Doctor.
Because of the time, I think we would just call it. Okay, but if you have, please advise that you
Before you call it off, can I just ask one question, sir?
Because
okay,
we are
running
out of time.
Yeah,
go ahead.
because we need to take pictures before can we take pictures first before maybe take group pictures before we take the last question? If that is okay for everyone.
It's okay.
Okay, so let us turn on our cameras. Okay.
And give us your best smile. I can see some lovely faces there. I can see Dr. Moazu. I can see Dr. Yaya. Wow.
All right.
I can see
At the count of 3.
Mr. Matthias, yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. Okay.
I can see Dr. Ima.
Thank you very much for getting the pictures.
Have you gotten for everyone? The next pages, I think they're about.
Okay, let's see. Yes, I've got him. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Okay, great.
Okay.
So can we get the last question before the team signs off?
Yeah,
you're going to sign up by yourself.
This is the question, sir. Dr. Elijah, I still want to appreciate you again one more time. I'm really enjoying you. It's not a question, rather, it's a kind of suggestion.
Okay.
You have been giving us topics. I don't know if there is a room for us to suggest topic. Maybe that has to do with our personal, so that if you suggest the topic, you can now work on it, so that we can benefit very well. Maybe I have an issue that I'm not well clear on, then I can